Okay, so when they come in, we take their payment if they owe, and then on the pen pad that's outside, they have to sign. So our system keeps up with all their previous signatures, so we can kind of tell if it matches their previous signatures. And so then a photo of them will come up on our screen, so we try to keep that pretty up to date because they do change really pretty dramatically from month to month. This machine actually is calibrated to pump all of the liquid medication. So we do liquid, we do dissolvable tablets. So this is able to calibrate and dispense exactly how much we need. So their dose is in there, and then we just pump it and dispense it to them. And then if there's any sort of increase or decrease in their dose, we kind of have them hang around in the lobby for maybe 5 or 10 minutes just so we can kind of monitor them to make sure they don't have any kind of adverse reactions. We kind of have to be a little careful because the privacy of this population is so important to them and to us. So yeah, we dose super early in the morning, and then we have new patients between 8 and 2. And one thing that we do here that a lot of clinics don't do, we do weekly payments. So they have to pay a week in advance. So we don't do like day-to-day transactions because that's more of almost like a drug deal where you come in, you pay your X amount of money, and we exchange a drug. So that's a behavioral thing that we're trying to break. So if they come and they pay a week in advance, they're also more likely to consistently show up. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's more so about behavioral modification than just giving them a medication to help them detox off those substances.
Oh, I love that. And are there counselors on site
yes,
too?
so that is actually the one person that has to be here all hours of operation. So there's a counselor here 7 days a week. And then if they get a take-home dose, me as the pharmacist, I have to be present by law for that. And if the patient needs to say, they come in and they say, hey, the dose doesn't hold me for a full 24 hours, it's within her scope to say, okay, well, the orders are here for you to increase 5 milligrams. So it's a lot of communication with those patients and them communicating with us, hey, this dose is holding us, or I'm still using these other substances, or just a lot of open communication and kind of breaking those barriers because historically, they don't want to tell you those things. They don't want to tell you that they're still using. They don't want to tell you exactly what they're using. They kind of really have to be comfortable with you enough to tell you, hey, this is kind of what I have going on. But we need full honesty from them. Also in the event, obviously, there's certain substances that if they do continue or, they are also on this type of medication is so severe that, you're looking at respiratory depression and death. So we monitor them closely. We do drug screens. Those are randomized in the system, and then those are sent off to a lab, and yeah. So we do a lot to ensure that they're doing what they're supposed to. They have to do
well, thank you for that education, because I had no idea. I just learned a lot in this session.
A lot of people think it's just exchanging one drug for the other, but yeah, we do a lot to ensure that. We do medication callbacks. They have to bring back all their meds, and we inspect them. So just a lot to help keep them accountable. And most of what we do is voluntary. So they voluntarily entered this program. So for me, that's a big thing. I'm really big on that person has to want to change to really change. And so for a lot of these patients, it's the first time that they've entered treatment voluntarily. Most of them have always been forced to go. And so when they get out of a program like that, their risk of overdosing is extremely high because they've been in that treatment program, they've detoxed off all those substances, but they didn't really want to change. So then they get out and they go back to using those substances and they don't know.
So it's a mindset. That's why you're monitoring their behavior. I love that.
Right. But for most of these, they have voluntarily entered. And so I think that's a big thing as far as, outcomes and the reality of that, so.
Ooh, I can sit here. Let me go get my sandwich on that one. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, of course. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for
letting
us. That was very informative.
Yes, it was.